Welcome to Don Stacy's YouTube channel. Earlier this morning, I was in the tub and I composed a few ideas. I entitled it America's Death Mask, and I'll try them out. Not the mask, the ideas. Founded upon the high-minded principle of universal equality among all human beings who have been endowed with certain unalienable rights, America fell far short of the mark at its inception. By regarding the ever-growing involuntary population of Africans, clearly from Africa for their dark skin, sometimes nearly obsidian in color, and the colonists from Scotland and England, perhaps a few from France and Holland, were responsible for this abduction and overseas transport to the Atlantic shore of the country up and down the East Coast. 100 years later, men from China signed up for indentured servitude and crossed the Pacific Ocean to work laying rail, blasting out tunnels, and building the beam scaffolding of trestles. To surmount small river valleys. Got something in my eye. But these populations, whose descendants are, all of them, Americans, were treated no better than, in their day, than disposable dogs. Well into the 20th century, non-white and non-Christian minorities were still treated with contempt and ridicule. And not infrequently, even cruelty. As with the lynchings which went on in the southern states, as well as those below the so-called Bible Belt, which has had occasion in the past to transform a sizable number of Christians into undying hypocrites. Well, that's as far as I got so far. And I call it American history, a brief history of America, or American history in a nutshell. That's it, right there. The motive of profit and mercantilism brought the blacks to America, and the Chinese, and this assured ourselves later on of a kind of multi-ethnic, multi-dimensional culture as we see it now. But there is an element of people, a subpopulation, who regard themselves as traditionalists only in a very nominal sense, in that they give lip service to the founding fathers. Apart from that, they're fascists. They're fascists. They could have stepped right out of Germany in 1940. Some of them almost do, with all their get-up and uniforms and bullshit. The animating ideas of the John Birch Society and the Ku Klux Klan have enjoyed a reemergence in recent days. Actually, they enjoyed this resurgence thanks to the former President Donald Trump, who's still spreading his caustic ideas and caustic lies, still inflaming this subgroup of white nationalists and Christian hypocrites and others. The decent senators on the Republican side of the aisle in Congress, such as Ben Sasse, Mitt Romney, and particularly Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, they're all going to be looking at the advise and consent procedure involving this new nominee for the Supreme Court. I don't recollect her name, but she's already been a federal judge and a defense attorney for the federal government, of all things. And that would be a precedent, to have a former federal defense attorney sitting on the bench of the Supreme Court, along with the 8 others. I've seen her talk on YouTube rebroadcast, and I gotta say, she has a great deal on the ball. And the Republican senators who squawk about her are going to look like they'll look like half-wit fools in the end. Many of them are half-wit fools, in my opinion. How they even got elected time and time again is beyond me. But the Southern bigots survive politically, in the South mainly. So, I hope this woman's confirmation to the Supreme Court is swift and without a shred of controversy, although that's probably unlikely given the politics these days in the United States, which, thanks to the former president, has been shorn of civility. And the dignified conduct that you would expect, at least in the Senate, doesn't happen any longer. And you have infantile right-wing congressmen yelling aspersions during an address to the entire United States, the State of the Union address, no less.